Nate has really worked on his approach hard throughout the fall. He made some adjustments early on in the fall, and just in how he got loaded up and overall using the whole field. And he's really been pretty consistent for us throughout the most of the year. I think in the last week or so his production tapered off a little bit, but he's been right there for us since the beginning of the season. He's been pretty consistent, and he's just maturing and able to maintain his approach no matter how he's been pitched, whether he has success, whether he has failure. Obviously him getting hits, getting on base, making things happen was a big part of the day offensively.
All right, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach, how do you feel about the middle of your lineup now? Josh had a couple more hits today. Nate was really productive. If you get Miles, if you can get his batting average a little bit up, you got some guys in there that are hitting the ball pretty well right now. How do you feel about that going into conference?
Yeah, I feel much better. Miles has been swinging the bat well all year. As I said before, Nate has been pretty consistent for us most of the year. Miles has really, I think, swung the bat even better than his statistics indicate. Batting average is sometimes one of the worst indicators. You don't get rewarded for line outs. You don't get rewarded for taking good long at bats and seeing pitches. And he's done both of those things. He's, as I said, I think he's been even better than his numbers indicate. Things are starting to shape up. Goose and Brown, it was just a matter of time. He's been a guy that's driven in runs for us, but he's scuffled periodically, and it's just a matter of time till he gets his hits. So I think it's moving the right direction, and I think it's moving the right direction at the right time. So, hopefully we'll carry this momentum. We talked about going into the Utah Valley weekend, just getting some momentum as a team. We tested ourselves early with a very difficult schedule. Going on the road to Washington State, who's very, very good this year. Going on the road to Oregon, playing USC in a 3-game series, and having UCLA in the midweek, and Bakersfield, who's playing really well. So, we felt like we were tested, but at some point, you got to turn that test into some success, and we hope to do that this weekend and with this midweek game against another really good San Diego team. And hopefully our guys can take pride in that and build on that and go in and get this conference weekend off to a good start.
And you guys, it looked like you lost the momentum a little bit after that, the play at first and the change of the call. They tie the game up. What does it mean for you to see your team bounce back and immediately score a couple runs to go ahead in the next inning?
Well, I just think that's a real testament to where these guys are at personality-wise. One of the things that we've tried to establish over the last couple of years is a group that is going to persevere no matter what. Whether you make an error, you take a bad at bat, you have a bad inning on the mound, or sometimes the calls don't go your way. But those aren't things that should dictate our attitude, our approach, and ultimately our success or failure. We've got to bounce back. There's always going to be those situations, and I think over the last 2 years, I don't think the teams that we've had here would have reacted the same way. And of course, we were all on our heels a little bit, and it did take our momentum away. But they got out and they got 2 runs, and we were able to get that inning in, get it stopped. Lewis Cohen was able to, persevere and maintain and make pitches through that inning, got out of there and kept it small, and then boom, we came back and answered back and took back control of the game. And so I just think that's an encouraging sign of where we've been trying to go, with just not so much technique and not so much talent and not so much execution, but just a mentality that we're just going to keep coming, and we're going to take our lumps, and we're going to have some negative things happen, but we're going to continue to put a good effort forward, and hopefully good things will happen.
And then from Brendan Warner, you get a solid start at him, 5 innings, doesn't give up a hit until the 5th inning. How positive is that for you, having the potential of him being your midweek guy?
Yeah, Brandon, has had another start like that. at Washington State, he had a big start for us on a Sunday, the game we ultimately won. We know it's in there when he's aggressive and he moves his fastball and he locates. He's going to get a lot of contact. He's going to throw strikes, and he had a tough outing a couple weeks ago against Sac State, but he bounced back out of the bullpen this last weekend, and we felt good going with him. But Coach Peraza, I think, did a great job putting a plan together for this game. He had a chance to see San Diego himself. He knows the pitchers that he's worked with, and he kind of put together a script to get the guys that we wanted on some matchups in some matchup situations, and for the most part, I mean, it really executed exactly how we hoped it would. So Brandon did a good job, and when you staff it, you split a game up, you're counting on every guy to come out and be ready to pitch, and that's not always a guarantee, with an 18 to 22-year-old kid. So I've got to give credit to our guys for coming out. Like I said, starting with Harley Holt, like I said, Lewis Cohen, even though he gave up a couple, he was ready to go. He was throwing strikes. He fought through that inning. DJ Milam had a shutdown inning exactly when we needed it. And Michael Coates was, he was a tick off, but Anthony Cortez is, he's been waiting for his opportunity to come back around, and he came in and probably got the best hitter in college baseball out at a really big opportunity. So, like I said, Coach Peraza did a great job planning that out, and the guys did a good job executing that.